kind of harsh treatment. So we try to do it in a what we call preventive way. So basically, we try to tackle the problem before it happens. So I get to know Soraya, Brenda, Sharina, and Imelda through this platform, and she has invited and some of you have invited some friends in, and welcome. And if you have anything that you would like to ask at the end of the presentation, you are more than welcome to. And today, and as Soraya said, we will be talking about a very important topic, so which is about hormones, right? So I guess all in here, in 4 or 5 people we have in the group, so we have that something in common as as a human. We have a hormonal system, so that control everything in our body, whether you're male or female. But being female and male, they are also slightly different in terms of how the hormone works in our body. So I will touch on the overview first, and then I will touch a little bit on specific to us as females, what else we need to do extra in order not to feel regret that we haven't done anything before the problem occurs. Okay, so get straight into the topic. So yeah, so when talking about hormone, I mentioned about it controls everything that make us become us, right? May I ask today, so how are you feeling? So looking at the picture here, so you can see that the same person can actually be feeling great, feeling energetic, feeling positive, feeling like, oh, I'm up to any challenge in life, right? Or you can wake up feeling like, oh, I'm so tired. Everything is such a problem. I can't fix this. I don't like to see that person. I don't want to face these issues. So it could be like that. And sometimes you just think that it just happened. But biologically, so it happens for a reason, right? There's a chemical pathway, there's environmental factors, and that make it happen. But they usually link, right? So you might be feeling like, oh, you want to go to exercise, you are up to it, or you might be feeling like you want to go and eat fast food. This is also the hormone issue. Also, you might be wanting to go to meditate at the beach nearby, or you just want to hide yourself in the blanket, don't want to get out, right? So this is all happening. So in the big pictures, you can actually feel that when we are very, very young, so we are up to everything. So you might not notice a lot of changes that happen through emotional or body interaction. But as we get older, some of this system will be kind of overused, and eventually the problem occurs, right? So today we're going to be touching pretty much about how the body, the physical, and the mental health all link together, right? So if they link very well, we up to the maximum stage. You are happy, you are energetic, you are feeling like, even though life is not perfect, but you can deal with it. So it's called optimal health, where your body allow you to do that way, and your mind also support it to happen, right? So this optimal health sounds very good, but not easily obtained by, I would say, most people, including myself, right? So probably not 100% optimal, but at least we are having the awareness, and we are on the way to it, right? So, and today we're gonna be touching on a lot of the things related to nutrition, because this is the easiest thing to control, basically, because you put it in or you take it out, and what you put in and how you take it out is very, very important, right? Okay. What are the hormones? We're talking about a hormone. So think about this. Hormone is like a messenger in terms of where hormones are produced in the body. There are many organs in the body that makes hormone, right? The brain, so you think about hormone, you mostly think about the brain, like from the top, right? But they are part of our body, like the thyroid. You see, Sharina would be probably the best chair at the end of about her thyroid, the way she deal with it, and things like that. The thyroid is also an hormonal organ. So because it actually produces some very important hormone for us, right? And some part of the brain produce slightly different hormones. And then the thymus, so which is in upper level of our chest. Also an hormonal organ, also very, very important. Adrenal gland, which is the one attached to our at the top of our kidney, is also an organ that produce very important hormone for us, right? Stress hormone is coming from there, the pancreas, right? So you don't know that. If you don't know that, diabetes is also a hormonal problem, because if the pancreas doesn't produce good insulin or not enough insulin, then diabetes come along, right? So the testes, the ovary, which is a sex organ, in the males and in the females, are also considered the hormonal origin, the organ that produce the hormone, various types. So when you think about hormone, starting from the brain, go all the way down in our body. So what happens is, in terms of hormone, usually it produces one particular location in our body, and it goes to the bloodstream and then get distributed to the entire body, right? So what it tells us in this way is that hormone is like, for example, the brain produces a message, which is a hormone, right? It goes through the delivery system, which is the blood, and goes to the target organ and tell the target organ what to do. For example, insulin produced in the pancreas, right? The pancreas secreted the insulin into the bloodstream. So whenever we eat, so start from our mouth, go into our stomach, go into our intestine, the food got digested. Then what happened? So the insulin comes along into our bloodstream and try to bring the sugar, the glucose that got from our food, and then get distributed inside the cell. The cell break it down, make it into energy, right? So basically, the whole thing is like a teamwork, right? What do we need to have? Good organs. So basically, our pancreas has to be good, right? Yeah, good blood system. So then it's the distribution go very fast and very far throughout the body. And also ask ourselves what we put in for the hormone to work. So for example, in terms of eating, then we don't eat too much sugar, we don't eat too much bad food, we don't eat too much bad fat, so that our hormone works too hard than what it has to be. Does that make sense? So it's like the whole entire teamwork system, right? So when you look in this picture, hormone isn't just about being menopause, can't have a period, but hormone is all about to be a human being, to make a state of healthy body for us, right? Hormone affect body and mind and everything that make us become us, right? If we want to be a very good human being, have very, very good life, messing up with hormone isn't a good thing, right? And then I'll tell you today what other things that you can do to maintain a good hormone, or what other thing you should avoid to not messing up with the hormone so much. Okay? So yeah, this is how it works. So everything, like I said, particularly when it comes into the hormone that we produce, so it got a target organ, right? The target organ will have a receiver at the cell surface, right? So the hormones come in, like it could be different kind of hormones that has a different signal, receiver, and the signal and the receiver, right? So what we want is that we want the right hormone to go to the right signal. Does that make sense? So if insulin comes, it has to have insulin receptor so that the hormone can actually activate the cells to work. This is a bit too deep, but what I wanted to say is that if it's perfectly matched, our cells are happy. When the cells are happy, we do the best we can, right? So this is like when you're talking about athlete, for example. Athlete, they compete, they can beat each other within milliseconds, or 2 seconds in order to be classified as a champion or a runner-up, right? So basically, this matching is super important for someone at that level. But for us, if it's not perfect 100% on day one, we have a longer term approach to actually doing it, just become perfect on it in each day in the routine life. Okay. So these are the example of the hormone that I was talking about. You see, I was talking about diabetes, right? In the pancreas, we produce insulin, glucagon, and a lot of other hormone that's involved in sugar metabolism. So in our brain, there is some part of the brain for pineal gland. So at the this side of the brain. So
Yeah.
to control, it makes melatonin, right? Which controls sleeping, right? So imagine if you can't sleep, what would happen? Everything goes down, right? Your concentration, your happiness, and everything, your communication. If you don't communicate well, nobody understands. You have problem at work, you have problem with relationship, in family, and all that. You say hormones are very important, right? And melatonin is produced in part of the brain. What would happen? In order for melatonin to be produced, it needs good food, good environment, and active body, right? And then when we rest very well, right? Thymus produce hormone also. Thyroid, this is the one I will mention. So it produces a lot of thyroid hormone. So when you go for a blood test, particularly, so you might see the values say T3, 3, 4, and all other hormones also. There's multiple hormone from one particular organ, or sometimes starting with one name and it get metabolized down along, and then they got slightly different names. So not something for you to remember. Brain in particular, in the hypothalamus, produce a lot of hormone related to reproduction. So if, for example, if you're female, you have early menopause, or you have period pain, or you are trying to have kids but you can't, or you are having a regular period, or you don't have period at all, or you have cyst in your ovary and all that, starting from the brain, because the signal is messed up along the way until it reach the ovary or reach the testes. Some men, they have low sperm count, they have sperm that don't swim and all that. These are starting from like up top from the brain, right? The liver also another organ that is not just detoxing, but it also produces a lot of hormone that are good for us. Liver has 500 functions. One of that is to produce hormone for us. So therefore, having the healthy liver, it means that we are holistically looking after ourselves, right? Testes and ovary produce a certain hormone, right? So this is just the example of, actually, there's a lot of hormones in the body, right? Very important chemical for us, and it does a lot of things, right? So yeah, so yes, like I said, there is no magic bullet for one thing, one shot one. I only want to do this one and never again to be healthy. No, even though we have the most intelligent doctor on earth, they can't make that for us, right? There is no one magic bullet or one pill that solve everything. So these are the magic bullets that you need to be considered. You eat well. So the definition of eating well is different from each person also. You moderately exercise, but consistent. Persistency, very, very important. Quality sleep. Actually, I should actually swap it around. The most important thing is you eat well. The second most important thing is you rest well, which is good sleep quality. The third one is exercise. The fourth one is mental health, stress management, and detoxification, meaning that we always inputting toxin in our body. You need, whether you do it because of natural process, like digesting the food, we already have the toxin because that's part of the process. But what is to eat food with a lot of toxin, or you are stressed that produce toxin also, you need to be able to take it out in the most harmful way, right? Okay, and if you can't do all the perfect thing, you can seek for help for, like, in terms of eating or nourishing all this process by nutritional supplement, right? And has to be high quality, like Shalina always share with us that there's no point taking something that doesn't help, and there's no point taking something that might even harm you, right? So choosing what's a good one for you is very important to basically top up imperfect four things up top, 4, 5 things up top, because unless you are a millionaire that have scientific background and really love to be healthy, even with money, you don't do this perfectly. And even with that, you do that close to perfect, aging come along also. Therefore, the topping up is like buying an insurance for the health. Yeah. So yeah. Anyhow, so how do we balance hormone, right? Balance hormone starting from eating right, right? Because it's starting point for us. Yes. Basically, the first thing, you are recommended to eat plenty of fruit and vegetable. Okay, but fruit and vegetable these days would have a lot more contamination, like pesticide, herbicide, whatever they put it in to make the fruit and vegetable stay longer, or keep the insect or the pet for whatever that will destroy the crop away. So therefore, it's recommended if it's gone organic is good. However, if it got organic is really like kept they are kept in supermarkets for a long period of time, they will lose in nutritional value also, but they are more expensive. So that's a cost involved also. Yes. Also, eating good fruit and vegetable will give you enough vitamin, mineral, and antioxidant that helps with the process of whatever you harm your body. This thing will try to go back and help to nourish and repair your cells. And the cells are the thing that produce the hormone, right? It all goes in a circle. Good fat, right? A lot of the things that we are producing, there are two types of hormone, the one that start with the fat and then the one that start with the protein, right? And a lot of the hormones in our body start with good fat. So therefore, if you have plenty of good fat versus minimum bad fat, your hormone production starting off very good. Does that make sense? So, and one of the good fat we are talking about is omega-3. So I will talk about that in more detail, how to choose omega-3 and reduce, so we can do so much, but we also have to protect our body from not insulting it with saturated fat, right? So all those fast food fat kind of diet that we see a lot these days, and it comes very fast in our kids' generation. If you offer them for a bowl of salad or something like chicken salad or a pack of McDonald's food, they would go to that later on. So it's easy for them to pick something unhealthy because they see others do it and they don't see us as a role model, and our rule has been broken multiple times until it becomes more of a habit. So if we set ourselves good, eventually we can influence the seeing, the experiencing from our kids also, right? Reduce intake of caffeine, particularly the synthetic caffeine that we have in this day society. So this affect hormone production also. So you would have a limit. Not that caffeine is totally like harmful, but more of the synthetic one in a high amount would be affected, would be more of a bad effect. So you can take some, but you need to have a limit on that also. Yeah. Avoid fried sugar. Why fried sugar is bad? Because it actually spike out your sugar level very fast in the blood. And what would happen? Insulin isn't produced fast enough. Then eventually you harming your body all over and over again with the addiction to fast, to sugar. And this one will basically stimulate a lot of hormone fluctuation into the body, particularly insulin. And also it also affects the production of how do we say sex hormone production. These days, when patients come into fertility clinic, a lot of the time you will see them that they can't conceive and something on top. One of the problem is about eating, it's about weight management, it's about the diet that they have. Of course, you might not be able to say 100% it's because of that. Then they will be classified as unknown cause of infertility. So I work on that for over 10 years in the research field. And many of them, doctor would just say, we don't know the cause of why you can't have kids. You do have sperm, you do have egg, you do ovulate. But how come there's no fertilization happening? Usually it's because of other processes that involve the hormone production is not that, optimal. And then the first thing to me knocked out when the hormone is not optimal is you shouldn't be reproduced. You shouldn't be having progeny or kids. Does that make sense? All right. So you take a lot of fiber. Why taking fiber is important for hormone production, right? Because fiber is something that comes in our body and then get, no absorption at all. It will get passed through the intestinal system to the out into poo. But during the traveling from the, from the way we eat down to the stomach, down to the small intestine, down to the large intestine. It actually clear away all of the impurity for us. And why clearing away all the toxin from the gut is important? It is important because in the gut, there's a lot of good bacteria. These bacteria has the ability to produce a lot of chemical that get through into our bloodstream, and then it sends a signal to the brain. They call that the gut is a second brain. You remember the diagram I showed in the beginning? Brain is part of producing a lot of hormone that control from the top down to the bottom entire body. So when the gut is good, the gut is communicating through the bacteria in the gut, which is a probiotic. Then it sends a very good signal to each other on how much to make, when to start, when to stop, what's the balance. So basically, good gut is good hormone. Good gut is good immune system. Good gut is good for detox. Good gut is good for weight management. If you want to lose weight, and if you don't work on your gut health, you would be losing weight in such a very torturing way, and it will never reach it won't be a sustainable result. Okay, if you wanna lose weight, work on the hormone balance to the gut system, right? Reduce alcohol, you know that. Don't smoke, I won't touch on that because we all know it's all common sense. So it has been published in the World Health Organization website. Any amount of alcohol is harmful. There is no minimum allowance of drinking, particularly when you're planning to have your fertility, to have kids, right? But particularly if you want to be healthy all your life, don't touch it. All right, so basically before they used to say, 4 glass of alcoholic drink per week is okay. There is not such thing called okay anymore, because any amount can damage you, right? Okay, eat a lot of phytoestrogen. Okay, phytoestrogen is a hormone from plant. So it's basically very similar to our hormone, but weaker. Okay, weaker, that means that there is no drug effect, right? So when you go treatment or something, like for example, if girls has a lot of pimple on their faces, or if they don't have regular period, or they start having hair on their face, you go to treatment, doctor will prescribe synthetic estrogen for the girls, or synthetic kind of mixture of sex hormone for the girls, so to do the balance. And that is more harmful because it's synthetic and it's very strong, right? But if you chip it into eating through the food that also contain estrogen, phyto mean plant, estrogen from plant, it's not a drug. It's very soft and it's very gentle, and it balances you for sustainable result. Okay, and I'll tell you where you can get phytoestrogen. Okay, so from the food. Yes, even the Harvard Medical School, which is a very famous school in the US, in university in the US, they recommended that you do physical exercise, physical activity, you eat a lot of fruit, vegetable, you eat a lot of healthy oil, healthy fat, you eat whole grain so that you don't overload your insulin so much. You eat nuts and seeds because you get good protein and good fat. You eat fish and chicken at more than the red meat and all that. You minimize all these dairy stuff that contains a lot of unhealthy fat or contamination and all that. And you eliminate all these soft drink if you can, or do at minimum, and all of the bad carbs that you shouldn't be eating. But a lot of the time, it's hard to get all this right, because once it's busy lifestyle, like Soraya said, she just has her first meal today. 2 is that sometimes you don't have nutrition knowledge. 3, it might not taste as good because you get used to what you used to since you were brought up. It's hard to chip into that. And 4 is that you don't have the motivation to do so. And a lot of the time, we will not be perfect for that. So if you can do 50% of that, you're very good already in a standard person, for a standard person, right? Then they recommend you, if you can't, then you need a supplement, multivitamin or vitamin D, which is very important these days. I was talking about all these particular hormone, right? So a lot of the hormone that we have in our body are two classes. One produced from the origin from the fat, one produced from our origin from the protein. So we'll start with learning about what are the good proteins, what are the good fats are very, very, very good for us to learn. Okay, someone want to get in. Vitamin, mineral, antioxidants are the helper to make the hormone, right? You have the starting material that you eat into your body. You have digestive system to make all what you eat to become digest and absorb into your bloodstream. And it needs to go to the particular organ, all of those, the brain, the the adrenal gland, the thymus, the thyroid, the pancreas, the liver. And then to put all these protein and good fat to make into hormone, there needs to be a process, right? And that process requires vitamin, mineral, and antioxidant to be a partner to build like a building block to make it a good hormone, right? So everything in the nutrition that we eat helps with the process, okay? Right. So because the brain was the one that, usually control a lot of very important hormone. So I will give the brain as an example. If you want the brain to produce good hormone, you need to have the cells in the brain that are very good. You need to provide the cells with the material or the nutrition it needs. So then the cells can work up to the function it needs to work. And then you eventually become healthier than not doing anything at all, right? So in terms of reproduction, whether you're males or females, start from the brain, produce the sex hormone, sends a signal through the bloodstream to the testis or the ovary. Then you make the hormone that make the sperm good, in a good quality, and make a good quality egg so that they can fertilize and make a healthy body, a healthy baby, healthy embryos and all that. So start from good hormone, because without the hormone, you won't have a good sperm, you won't have a good egg, you might have even like, instead of have a good egg, you might have cysts, you might have PCOS, you might have all that, which is preventing you from having a good quality, right? But all these sex hormones, they are peak and then goes down. So like everything in life, right? So we are born at the top of our health, which is about, just slightly before 20 down to about below 35 maybe. You probably at the peak of your state of good hormone, right? So the man and the males and female peak slightly different. However, it goes down. Both will go down, particularly the sex hormone. In females, I refer to estrogen. In males, I refer to testosterone from the testes. So at that phase where it started to go down, you see the female go down very fast, right? At around 45 onward, so that's when people start having what they call premenopause. So if it happened before 45, it's too early. You could have a lot of problem. Yeah, the males also okay, someone want to get in. The males also have their hormone going down, but much slower than the females, right? So that's why 80 years old, 70 years old male sperm can actually be fertilized because they're still producing. They might not be the best quality, but it's still producing. A man will produce sperm up until their last day of their life, but females not. We have certain number of eggs. Eventually, when the estrogen goes down, we go to menopause, no more eggs. So we need to use the best of it. So young enough, not too young, but young enough. Once we older, there's more things can go wrong because our level of hormone goes down, okay? When it goes down, what would happen? Let's take the female as an example because we have all females in this group. So menopause isn't just, oh, I feel good, I don't have to handle period anymore. What you need to do is to keep it with you as long as possible, right? If you start menopause at 60, you are very lucky. Yeah, usually people start from around 50. If you start at about 55, you're also doing very well also. So keeping it because we want to keep the hormone not too low. When it's too low, what would happen? We will have mood change. You see some people have mood change. Skin change, we lose more elasticity on the skin. Hair loss, you will notice yourself that your hair start to get thinner also. And then vaginal problem will be very, very, you won't have a lot of mucus production. So this will be problem when you have, intercourse, we have sex, then this can cause a lot of problem like painful. Very important, bone will get thinner. All right. It doesn't matter whether you're a super healthy or less healthy person. Naturally, it will get thinner. But if it gets thinner very fast and in such a way where you don't prepare yourself beforehand, this can become a life-threatening. Most of the people who have their bone thinning, they won't be able to move. And what would happen? They'll get depressed. And then they will get to fall in the bathroom or somewhere, and then they will get, attached to some device, and that's the beginning of mental illness that started.
Not to plug in this one.
So yes, and there are other things also. There's something to do with the risk of having heart problem. Right. I had one friend, she has menopause at the age of 30. And then when she visited her GP, and the GP said her risk of having heart attack is 10 times more than the people at her age that still have a period. So the brain, the heart, the ovary, the bone, the hair, the skin, they're all important to us, right? As a female, for example, we all wanted to have all this intact. Even though when it's not intact forever, we want to keep it as long as possible. Okay, so for male also, when their hormones start to go down, what would happen? They will start to lose their muscle. They will start to have depression. Not all. I mean, this is possible that it can happen if you don't manage very well. They start to accumulate fat rather than muscle. They start to have bone problem also, and they might start having low sex drive. So which is a natural process, but when it happens very sharp, they tend to be feeling like sad or depressed and all that. It happened for both, but at probably different time frame. So, right, bone, like this one, very important. So mainly, people will start to notice when there is like unexpected incident. They might fall, or they might hit their hand or their ankle or their knee or something, cracks. Oh, only fall like this. When I was 30, if I fall like this, nothing would happen, right? It's because it started to get thinner and thinner. And it gets thinner very fast at the age of premenopause, 40 onward. So basically, we need a lot of nutrition to support that. And if you do it early on, like if you at around mid-20 or like close to 30, you get higher chance of, not facing this serious problem in such a way that doctor can't even help you. Okay, so this is very, very important to maintain the bone. Okay, bone mass, males will start to go down also. Female, the pink one, go down very sharp. So that's coincide with menopause when it happened, right? It happened to me, it happened to everyone here, but when it goes like that, and you don't prepare around before premenopause, usually there's a need to see more of a harsh medication. The doctor might do injections and all that. That's only maintaining, right? That's only maintaining, not for you to feel the pain, but not really making your bone stronger, which is impossible. So you do things beforehand. In terms of the bone, there is no going back. There is no going back. You need to do things now, or otherwise it might become serious. Particularly if you have other symptoms of menopause, it's very important that you think about the bone very seriously, because there is no treatment in the entire world when it's already happened to reverse that. It's either maintain you in a state where you don't feel pain and you can still walk and all that, but the quality of life goes down a lot when it happens. Yeah. So talking about the hormone, I was talking about cholesterol or good fat. There's good cholesterol also. Cholesterol is beginning from like you eat good fat and it created, like digested into good or bad cholesterol depending on what you eat, and it makes into the male sex hormone and it converted into females. So basically, if we are female, if we are female, we will have two things in our body, which is male hormone and then female hormone. The conversion from this to this for us happen very fast. But if you are a male, you will stop at this point. You won't produce estrogen, right? But sometimes there's a leakiness in the system. You do get a person that have imbalance female hormone in the male or imbalance male hormone in the female. Happen a lot with teenage girl when they started to have hair or lots of pimple, they have male feature on their face, and doctor will treat them with this hormone. Okay, so the balance is good because that's what we want. Okay, so where the cholesterol come from, you need to know this, particularly about hormone and particularly about losing weight, right? So cholesterol, a lot of people said, I want to lose weight, I'm not going to eat bad fat at all. But cholesterol is usually, we get it usually only 20% from the food, right? But the majority of the cholesterol is producing like internally in our body, which is from the liver, right? So if you try to control the cholesterol, make a good cholesterol, you make sure your liver has no problem. Meaning you don't drink, you don't smoke, you exercise, you don't stress, you don't this and this and that. But at the end of the day, so when you try so hard, only focus on the food, but not looking at your liver function, sometimes you would take forever to lose weight. You would take forever to fix your period irregularly, or something to do with fertility, because usually when the liver is bad, the whole thing is messed up. Okay, because the fat that's coming from the body, it's 80% from the liver. And once the liver make good fat, what would happen? It puts it in the blood system, go to the brain make good hormone, the hormone go through the whole body so that it can work, it can control us how to become healthy. Okay, do you know that the good fat that we need, which is omega-3, there's two things, the EPA and DHA. You might hear that in TV sometime, or you might hear that in commercial somewhere else. This one is contributing a lot of the fat. A lot of our brain cells are fat cells, right? Even though we hate the word fat because we have bad impression about it, but a lot of the brain cells are fat cells, right? So EPA, DHA in particular, they contribute a lot in the proportion of fat cells that we have. So if we want good brain, this nutrition is what you need to invest in to have that, right? Benefit of the fat that we have, apart from the hormone, it's basically, part of the brain, part of the eye also, right? Part of the heart, right? Part of the joint, part of the overall health, which is the hormone health. Does that make sense? So if it's the EPA, DHA, they work slightly in different part of the body, but that's why when you take omega-3 supplement, you make sure they have both in a high amount. You can't just have DHA or EPA. They usually have to come together. The commercials, no, they always advertise, they put two together, but how much? It's very important because like you have a fever, you're adult, right? You take Panadol, which is paracetamol. So if you're adult, you need to take the adult paracetamol, right? If you're kids, you take kids paracetamol because that's the dosage. The same thing with nutrition. If you want something to be in effect, you need to have consistently and the right amount. Does that make sense? Okay, good fat to limit and to not eat. So we all know this, right? So the one from nuts, the one from fish, the one from all like olive oil or avocado, they're all good. The one that is like not so good is the processed one, the saturated one, and the worst ones are this one. So if we have a lot of birthday parties, New Year party, Thai New Year, Chinese New Year, International New Year, and all of this actually, we might be happy at the party, but after we left the party, our liver, our body, our hormone might not be so happy. So we need to know how to get back on the right track. Okay. All right. So this is what happened when you want to eat omega-3 from fish alone. Fish, they have all different life span in the sea, right? And do you think the sea are clean? I don't think so, right? Whatever we do in terms of that involve water go down the drain, they all get, into the sea, right? All the chemical or the industrial or the, transportation by ships, that comes alone. There was a news happening in Australia right now, because Australia is very isolated and very tough in terms of importing law. So anything that comes in need to be fumigated. They need to make sure there's no insect, there's no bugs and all that. And then lately, things are coming into Australia have a lot of contamination of insects or bugs and that. They're scared that it will destroy the crop or the agriculture and all that. So they have to clean the cheap, the big cheap containers that comes in. They have to fumigate it to make sure that. Anyhow, because of that, it slowed down the system. So in Port Phillip Bay in Melbourne, where we live, so if we go down to where I live, it's about 5 minutes from my house. So I drive 5 minutes, I get to the sea, which is part of Port Phillip Bay, the bay that we live in. You will see a lot of ships circulating around because they can't dock into Melbourne, because the fumigation just overloaded. They can't do it because of COVID, because of lack of stuff. Basically, I find that, wow, Port Phillip Bay fish cannot be eaten now because when they're circulating around the bay, what happened? They release the oil, right? It's like when we drive the car, our car would produce pollution in the air, right? The ship also do the same things to the sea, right? So the fish are eating what's in the sea. So basically, omega-3 from the fish is good. However, if we also eating the contamination that the fish is eating, we are basically harming ourselves as well. So eat fish in moderation, right? It's okay, but I don't think in this day you can get enough good fat from the fish alone because there's contamination. So you do that in moderation. You feel like you're cooking fish, it looks good, it smells good, but supplementation is essential. It's very essential. Apart from multivitamin that you need, fish oil is the second one that you need, because you will never get enough clean one from the food we eat this day, right? Fish that live longer have more contamination. If you want to eat, like, pick this kind of fish, you eat the smaller fish you can. That makes sense? The larger, the longer they live, they accumulate a lot of heavy metal or the contamination in the sea. And then when you choose supplement that they give to you, as in terms of fish oil, you make sure that it's extracted from smaller fish, because they live shorter, they're smaller, they have less contamination. You make sure the company have a technology to exclude all the contamination also, right? All right. So this is my fish dish that I made. So every day, not every day, every week we'll do one time for the family. Of course, we add sauce, we add salt, we add sugar, we add this to make it look good, right? So basically what we think is healthy might not be as healthy, but we enjoyed it. Okay, we're still human, we are allowed, but I will always make sure that I buy fish oil, good one for my kids, because it's impossible for me to make kids this day to love seafood or to love fish somehow. Last night we had teppanyaki for my anniversary party. We went out and we went for teppanyaki and we picked one that has seafood. Basically, my kids don't eat seafood. So it's just like they don't love seafood anymore, most kids this day, for some reason. Not that seafoods are all good, but sometimes if they said they hate seafood, they usually don't want to eat fish also. It smells bad, doesn't taste good. But when they go to fish and chip, they eat, which contain a lot of bad oil, right? For some reason. Anyhow, fish oil. So it becomes an alternative for good fat. So remember, good fat, good brain, good hormone, and good a lot of things, and good liver. So, but it has a lot of contamination. And it's because supplements are food, not medication. There's not a tight regulation on this. Usually the regulation on the supplement you eat, it's like you go to market in Thailand, market in Philippines, as long as it doesn't kill you or 100 people reported having diarrhea, they will not come and track on it. So usually the effect is about 10 years, 5 years, 20 years along the line. But who proved that I had this disease because I ate that from that market? No one, right? No one can prove that. Usually the supplement is under that regulation. As long as no one die, as long as you don't do anything like even if you add nothing, they won't know. right? That's the quality we get. So basically, cheap supplement is somehow a waste of money, okay? Because one fish, if you spend $20 to buy one fish, which might not feed the whole family. Usually, if you go out in Melbourne these days, a fish dish will cost you $22 or 25 or 30, depending on how fancy you go. You eat one meal, right? But if you go to a pharmacy or somewhere that sells supplement, then in a container has 400 capsules and it costs you $9. That's not fish oil, I can tell you. Or even if it's a fish oil, it's basically very diluted, almost nothing. It has that color, but usually, if not harmful, usually nothing. But I am worried about, how safe it is in terms of how they extracted it. Because in the entire fish, you don't get the whole fish to be oil, right? There are other things in the fish. There's a skeleton, there's the protein and all that. Little fish, if it's a good fish for extraction, it will give you minimum oil, right? Therefore, the cost of each capsule is more, like the cost of each capsule is 400 in a bottle. Therefore, it shouldn't cost you $9. Does that make sense? Because it costs more than that to make. And how could they make profit of that? Think about cheap fish oil, because this is happening a lot in Australia, where you have tourists coming in and they want to buy something healthy to bring back to their family as a souvenir and all that. They would buy 10, 20, 30, 40 of the cheap fish oil, like 400 capsules for $9, back in their suitcase to their home country. And they're believing that they're having a good deal. But really a good deal? Think about that, okay? You don't get a lot of oil from one fish. Therefore, the manufacturer, the extraction to make it clean and to make it potent is not a cheap process. Therefore, be expected to pay reasonable amount of money for good fish oil. Does that make sense? I hope you learned something from this. Okay, so there is a scientific, I'm not just saying that there's a scientific paper. This is 2014. By now, there would be a lot more coming out. So basically, they're looking for all of the contamination. You heard about DDT? DDT is a chemical that we stopped using in the agriculture for a long period of time, but because it stayed for a long period of time, it's still in the sea, it's still in the fish, in everything. And they detected all these chemicals. You don't need to know the name. And in all different brands, this is the short of the name to not mention it. These are all common in Australia, all these brands. And some of these brands are recommended to be given to pregnant lady, because pregnant lady need good oil to make good hormone to sustain the pregnancy and to help with the brain development of the kid. Remember I said good oil, good fat is the beginning of forming good brain, right? So therefore, doctor would mostly recommend you to take fish oil, but they won't tell you how to choose, right? So some of these brands are recommended by doctor in Australia to be given to pregnant lady. So they're looking at chemical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including DDT. The 1 score meaning that they detect certain level. The 5 score mean they detect a lot. And then all these are total score. The more total, the more they found a lot and in higher amount, right? So this one, BCT brand, is the one that was recommended, still the one that recommended to pregnant lady, got the highest score. So basically, you want to make your kids very healthy at the beginning, but you're basically giving them toxin, but you think it's good because you don't know it and because the doctor says so. And it's not against the law because it's considered as food. No one proves it. But this is a scientific journal saying that this amount say that at the safe level to take, it's almost like alcohol. Some people say 2 glasses a week, it's okay. It's not okay because it's damage you. Doesn't matter what amount because it's a toxin, it damage you, okay? So that's just what I say. So different manufacturing process and making fish oil can get through all the manufacturing regulation because it's easy. So if there was a saying that if you have money to make medicine and to make supplement and you want to be making profit fast, usually people will go to supplement because less regulation and it's very what you call easy to fancy people about how it could make you healthy and all that. But in medicine, you can't. You need to make it very stringent, and you can't really say medicine will make you healthy. And most of the time, it wouldn't be advertised as something in the level of supplement. Okay. So this is the brand I take from USANA, fish oil that has EPA and DHA. It's called Biomega, that's the name of it. It has the purity of 99.999999. So 69. So the reason why is because they actually put it through distillation 2 times, right? Distillation 2 times. Super clean. You won't get any of these chemicals in there. So, right. So the maximum people can go like, it's not 100%, but because there might be something that you can't even detect. However, this is super clean, right? And yeah, altogether, it has one, if you take it as the recommended amount, so 2 in the morning and 2 at night, you will get about 1,500 milligrams, which is double the amount that was recommended by the Heart Foundation. The Heart Foundation said 500 milligram every second day in a week. So basically, they recommend you very minimum amount. But if you do it through the use of Biomega, you get 1,050 milligrams. This is the Australian version. A Canadian version will be similar. Okay, potency guarantee mean whatever label is exactly to the decimal point of 0.2 or 3 or 4 decimal point, and there is no contamination that's not listed in the bottle. Very, very important. This is how Sharina would say this is high quality because it's guaranteed, right? So basically, what I wanted to say is that high quality supplement is essential this day in the modern society because we cannot be perfect anymore. And with the brand that you're choosing, it's very important because different brand would have different standard of manufacturing process. With the USANA Health Sciences that we choose, that most of our friends in this group also using it. I myself, I've been using it for 6 years now. So basically tackle a lot of things. So when we talk about hormone, it's endocrine. Endocrine is the fancy word for hormone, right? So when we're talking about digestion, so there's product that help to boost the digestion, there's product that helps overall, there's product that help with heart and all that. There's different kinds. So if you want to know more, ask the person who invited you into this group. They can explain to you more or join more of our seminars. Okay, so because we are all females in this group, and eventually we will hit, or you already hit this phase, and hopefully you have gone through a very smooth journey for the menopause part. So there is a product called USANA Estopro. You remember I said Estopro is about the decline of estrogen. So basically USANA extract estrogen from the food to promote estrogen levels in our body in a soft way, so and safe, because we're eating it as food. Usually you expose to this plant estrogen in your food, but not enough to make it effective. So USANA extracted in a very clean way, in a very precise way, put it in a tablet. So you take one in the morning and one at night when you already hit menopause. If you have symptoms of menopause or female hormone problem and all that, you take it at a lower dose according to the experience, that you can advise us on what you need to do. There's also a solution for male also. Male, when they start to lose their sex hormone, the testosterone from the testes, they will have a few problems, like I said, like mental what do you call, memory decline, depressions and all that. And one of the obvious thing, and some men will start losing their hair. And if they start losing their hair in such a very dramatic pattern, it will be a pattern where they lose it from around here. And that's usually related to the male hormone problem, right? So there are ingredients in this particular product called palmetto. So palmetto has the ingredient that contain the product that actually inhibit the change of the male hormone into a bad one. So this bad one, like the dihydrotestosterone, DHT, don't need to remember the name. However, if it stay as testosterone, like good hormone, the male will start to feel, the man will start to, a man will start to feel good. But if it changes it into a form that's not very active, but affects two things, the hair and the sex drive, and also affect prostate, which is the accessory organ, the organ that help with reproduction. So male will have problem with the hair loss, some of them, and some of them will have problem with the prostate, which is a very annoying process for them because there will be frequent urination, waking up at night, sex drive goes down, and whatsoever. So recommended that men that are 50 or 55, depending on what country you are, they get their prostate checked for prostate enlargement and prostate cancer also. This particular product help in terms of maintaining the level of the hormone that affect the prostate, and also the sometimes help with maintaining the loss of the hair also, right? This product like basically are very good for men that are older and they start having problem with their prostate. I used to work in the lab next door to a prostate cancer lab, right? And the lady who was at my age working in the lab also, she said once in her seminar, she said, if a man lives long enough, they will experience prostate problem because it's a natural process. Eventually, every man will have their prostate enlarged. If it's enlarged in such a way where it's just dramatic, very fast, then they need surgery, they need to see doctor. But if it's slowly enlarged, it will cause discomfort of going to frequent urination, usually happen at night, and they will have disturbed sleeping, and all other problem comes along. This is a very powerful product because palmetto have all these ingredients, lycopene, isoflavone, and all that. These are also phytoestrogen for men to take to help with their prostate. You usually get from food, but never enough concentration to make it how I say, more effective. Never enough from the food. You will never get enough each day. So therefore, if you take this supplement and try to eat good, you are in a better shape, right? So there are palmetto in the market, also a lot of other brands. The reason why we chose USANA is the same reason, is that because one, when it said they put this amount, it's that amount. Yeah, and then there's no contamination because it has potency guarantee that what's in the label is in the label. What isn't in the label, it's not going to be there. So that's the main problem of supplement industry in this world. Usually they don't put the amount, and usually they have something that they don't label, and it's not against the law because it's the food law. That makes sense? Okay, so basically there are lots of things that, if you know this, there are a lot of things that USANA product offers. So you can ask your friend into personalize what you need. If you're thinking that you are the one that cannot be perfect of all the list of eating well, sleeping well, exercise well, detox well, stress management very well, all that, you need some help. And these things make life a lot more practical and easier, I would say. So, and as a part of the Australian Nutrition and Wellness Association, so as we basically form a group of health professionals educating people about holistic way to gain health and how to use nutrition. And particularly, we know we have experience using high quality supplement to help people to make life a lot easier and more practical. So you can go through the health assessment and then see what, if you are agree of taking supplementation and you don't have the knowledge and you want the maximum result, you don't want to waste time, how can we help you? And we can recommend you that, and you can request for that one-on-one so that you don't need to feels like your personal information is this, you don't want to share that. So you can just do one-on-one getting recommendation from your friends, from us, okay? I think that's all I wanted to give you today. I know I talk very fast. I know you won't remember everything, but I hope that whatever point you remember is the point you start taking action, because in terms of hormone, it will not be like a car accident. A car accident, you know straight away that you got hurt here, and then if you don't pass away, you need to fix here and there. You need to fix your car, you need to fix yourself and whatever. But hormone, it will come without you noticing. And by the time you're noticing, it sometimes can be too late, particularly, for example, the bone. Yeah. And other things. And very important organ for you to remember is that the brain starts a lot with the composition of the brain down to our liver, down to our gut. These are very important field in holistic way that if you understand it properly, it can change your entire direction of how healthy you're gonna be at older age. And if you understand and share to your family, it can change the whole generation of your kids not eating healthy into, wow, there is more to what to learn. Because at the end of the day, doesn't matter how much you are successful, you need to have a healthy body to enjoy them, right? And health is something to invest in. Health is not an expense, but if you health will become an expense if you don't invest in it at the right time and with the right method. Okay, so that's all from me, and thank you so much for attending my talk, and I'm happy to spend time answering questions you may have. Thank you. I'll pass the mic back to our MC, our Solaya.
Thank you, Dr. Dongporn. It's a lot of information to take in, right? But I managed to get a lot of good point that I can, for sure, extend to my loved one, and people around about me that I can help them too. Yes, on the top of myself, a good hormone will make our life good, right? So hormone is very important, and we'll give this time for us to do a question. If you have any questions, please feel free. Tachi, have a hand up. Teti.
Yeah,
Teti.
Teti.
Yeah, hello,
Yeah,
Teti. Welcome. Feel free to ask your
Thank you.
question.
Oh, I'm a home support healthcare provider.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. And it was really very informative to listen about the hormone. I would just like to go back to the osteoporosis. I mean, for
Osteoporosis.
women, yeah.
Yeah.
If actually I'm on my post-menopause. Yeah, so you're right. They prescribe you for maintenance.
Yeah.
Like the Fosamax or the injection.
Yeah.
Now, to get a food from Usana, what do you recommend?
Yeah. Okay, so very, very, very good sharing. Thank you, Teti. In terms of osteoporosis, we are having it now, all of us. We know that, right?
Yeah.
Start to happen to us. I'm 48, by the way. It started to happen to us, but what we want is that it happened at the natural aging process. But if it happened like dramatically, like a hormone drop and the bones, everything starts to kick in, this is at the point where they start to prescribe you a very strong medication, and sometimes it misconcept.
Yeah.
For example, they inject you with a high dose of vitamin D, for example, and hoping that you absorb a lot of calcium into your bone, but they forgot that at that age your absorption is not going to be more than what it can be, even
Yeah.
you try very hard. But they get you in every 3 months or sometimes 4 months to do that.
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. Vitamin don't last that long. You know that they don't last that long. And also, if you have a lot of vitamin D, which is, in a way, it's good for you in other things, but you need to have a system that your body has calcium for it to help absorb. And calcium doesn't work without magnesium. So therefore,
That's right.
the main thing in this case would be our product, because we know Usana product is Magni Cowdy that has the 3 things together. Yeah. And because of Magni Cowdy is in part of absorbing into our bone. So the absorption in our body need to be fixed in the gut also. The product for gut health is very, very important. Very, very important. A lot of people said, I would take a lot of calcium. I had a doctor friend. I met with her in Thailand in my last trip. My good friend. I went to do PhD inside. She went to do medicine. But her medicine is a traditional way of treating the disease, right? And she has had a hip replacement. And that's the degeneration of the jaw.
Yeah.
At the age of 46, she has to have both sizes. She can't walk for 10 months. and she knows that I recommend USANA product to people, but her objection was I can't swallow. But I said, when it's pain, you can swallow painkiller. You can swallow USANA. You can. And she said, come and have a look. She bought a lot of all these things. 5,000 milligrams of calcium without magnesium, without vitamin D. I spent the half of the day, educating her that what you are doing, it's not the purpose of money because you got the money. But if you don't invest the time of learning this, you would be getting worse because you already have a sign of like early onset of bone and joint problem. Hip replacement might help you at some point, but what about other part of your body? It will start. We don't only have bone and joint to look after, right? We have bone. How many bones do we have? I think we have a quiz already in this group. More than 200, right? More than 200. So it's not just to look after one bone, it's to look after the entire bone. So basically the injection that the doctor have is a medical way, meaning they try to tackle the symptom, but they're not actually thinking of what about daily practical life. Yes, so basically the short answer to that, try Magni Cloudy. If you already have other calcium supplement, you will feel the difference. You will feel different, not just for the bone, because it also helps to make your intestine movement and everything, and you will detox out very well. Once you detox very well, the absorption will be very good. Any good thing that you take will get into your body very fast. Yeah. And you are invited in the group by who?
Charina.
Yes, Charina can help you as in terms of educating you what you actually need. But Magni Cloudy to begin with, and with menopause, we do need Bio-Omega. These two products, if you can be persistent with it all year round, you will not regret. It's the one that usually doctor never against calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, and Bio-Omega. They're slightly against multivitamin for some reason, for misunderstanding purpose. But all these three things, if you can do it every day, no more dose, you don't have to go so excessive, but has to be every day and continue a long period of time. You will use this as holistic way instead of medical way.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, as Chelina mentioned that Estopro is actually helping a lot also. Estopro is the female phytoestrogen for premenopause and menopause stage in life. I myself has been taking it for many years, and if I don't take it, I do feel the difference, even in terms of period quality. I still have my period, but if I take Estopro, the associated symptom with period pain or headache or can't sleep or mood fluctuation, Estopro helped me a lot. And if I missed it, I can tell that month is not going to be a smooth period. Yeah. So it's very, very important. So after 40, you can start taking a normal dose of Estopro. Yeah. Super, super product, because we don't get this plant estrogen enough from the food, because a lot of the food that have this plant estrogen, they don't taste good. They're either bitter or they're either not in the form you can eat raw, but when you cook them, the phytoestrogen destroy. You're basically eating the structure of it, but not the nutrition. Yeah. Okay. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, very well. Thank you so much, doctor.
Any other questions? Email. Yeah, email.
Yeah.
She takes note.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I cannot remember, I cannot memorize all of those.
Yes.
I need to take.
Yeah.
This is all about the arthritis.
Yeah. Osteoarthritis.
Because I have coworkers also that have arthritis on the right here on the wrist.
Yeah, that's a very common practice to have.
So what's the advice for that?
One thing I want to ask, is your job involving a lot of the use of that particular part of the body? The
Yeah.
head? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So common rule, whatever we use most got like more effect on it. So we overuse something, it's gonna need more repair. Does that make sense? Like
Right
the
there.
car that we drive for 10 years and the car that we drive for 10 months, we need a different care, isn't it? Yeah. Anyhow, but if you repair with the good stuff, usually you save some time, also you enjoy more. So osteoarthritis is worse than osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is only the bone thinning, right? Osteoarthritis, your bone have problem and your joint has problem, and the problem is inflammation, right? That inflammation, that's what cause pain, right? So
Oh.
basically, yeah, the product that's very good for this one would be Magnicaldi, because you look after your bone, and also Biomega, because Biomega has what we call anti-inflammatory effect that is natural, not medicine, right? So Biomega is actually from head to toe, because any part in our body can have inflammation, because inflammation usually is a good thing because it stimulates our body to fight. But when it happens excessively, it becomes a bad thing. So Biomega helps to basically reduce that inflammation to the level where just as what we needed to fight, but not overreact until it attacks our own body. Osteoarthritis, the inflammation actually attack more of the joint part, and that's why you feel pain. When you feel pain, it means inflammation is excessive. You take Biomega higher dose.
Like morning.
Two. Yeah.
2
Yeah.
morning and evening.
Yes. Yeah. And take with meals, because we need the oil to be absorbed well in the meal. Sometimes that it helps with other component of the food, help to dissolve and then absorb the product better.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr.
Are you taking Procosamine for the joy?
Procosamine? Yeah,
Procosamine.
I am taking Procosamine.
The two of them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
That's my regular. I am taking regularly.
And when it's pain, the other thing is that if you already have a bag of Fiber G also help, because basically a lot of the pain that coming through, it generates a lot of bad chemical in you because of inflammation. The inflammation usually leaves a lot of bad chemical in the body, and it gets excluded faster when you are having a good gut. Yeah.
Okay.
Coming down.
Yeah. So follow-up question, how about the rheumatism? Is it similar to arthritis?
Rheumatoid is also very, but rheumatoid is usually genetics, and it's also inflammation problem that happen a lot in the people. Rheumatoid, you also need to be careful about the protein that you are taking, because it involves a lot of protein pathway. So try to avoid protein that have a lot rheumatoid is very similar to gout in a way that if your body is very similar, but not exactly the same, but in the similar origin of how it happens. So the protein that you are taking, the diet you are taking, there are more restrictions. So we can put that in the group for you to know which one to avoid. If you can avoid, you've done 50% good. And then once you avoid the additional factor to make it worse, then you try to nourish it by rheumatoid, usually inflammation, and the body becomes a lot more acidic. So basically you are taking, you are taking a lot of the nutrients. So avoid soft drink, because these things make your body acidic. And then you're taking Biomega to reduce the pain, taking Fiber G to balance your gut, and probiotic, of course. Basically, the product is all circling thing around in the same principle. Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Treated gone.
Okay, it might be late for her, but that's okay.
Yes.
So Charina can follow up. Yeah.
So is that Glenda? iPhone is Glenda?
Could be Glenda.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's only 4 of us left now. The rest are gone.
That's okay. It's good.
Yes. Yeah, it's great.
I
And
hope
with
you learned something.
with the timing, with the timing also good.
Yes.
We done good timing as well. Yes. So
two of my friends, my cousin, and my mama Techi came. So yeah, thank
Yeah,
God.
Yes.
I saw your cousin came in at least. Yeah, she
Yeah.
can watch the record if she want to.
Yeah, she finished the discussions.
Yes. Yeah, she's good. It tackle a lot of her issue that we talk about also. Hopefully she learned something on that and take action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's still taking all the supplements you've
Yeah.
advised her.
I can
Yeah.
see through her social media she start to become more energetic and more like vibrant in herself. So which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good. Good
Yeah.
good start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Good invitation skill, guys. Very, very, very important to be able to invite. At first invite yourself to be in, but if you can get someone to be in, it's also good.
Yeah.
Congratulations, well done.
Well done. Yeah, very
Yeah.
good.
Yes,
Thank you,
well
doctor.
done.
That was a very good.
Lots of knowledge.
Yes.
We learned lots of knowledge from Dr. Dongpon.
Yes. So this is opportunity being given, yeah. So
Yeah.
we all going to continue to invite with this format. I think this is a good format.
This is a good one.
We can invite and it's good. Yeah. So presentation is really informative and given opportunity to invite is really great for us. Yeah, great opportunity for us to extend our care and the business. Yeah. Our teachers is back.
Yeah. Oh.
Hi. Yes. Yes. Oh, maybe sorry, yeah, you can share with us about how Palmetto has helped your husband.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I need to share to you guys this story. With Palmetto, but also Nickel D, they come along together. It's his the two things that actually he got more the thing that he loved, and we cannot go without it. I can never run out. He always said, where is my Palmetto? Like he got two,
Yes.
3 left. He already panicked about
Yeah,
it.
maybe I
So,
can help the audience by asking the question. Your husband
Yeah.
has a very stressful lifestyle, right? High
yes,
responsibility job, and
Yeah.
in Australia, been in the same industry in education, and he has always been showing some sort of suboptimal health, not sick in
Yes.
hospital, but he was never felt like he was healthy, but he doesn't. Because he wasn't sick or falling down and or things like that, there was never a time to focus on let's go and find solution and all that. He got exposed to the idea of taking supplement because of soya, yeah, because of soya.
He been take supplement before from
Without the
chemist
knowledge.
without the knowledge, but just a friend at work taking garlic tablet, and he came home to me, hey, you need to buy garlic tablet because it helps with immune system. I think we need to tackle to immune system. He told me that like 20 years ago, and he hearing something from his friend, and he will come to tell me to buy. But we take 1 tablet, 2 tablet, and it just stay in a cupboard. Well, and like 5 years later, we found, oh, what is it? Oh, garlic tablet, chuck in the bin. And we take a fish oil from the chemist, and we used to buy the small jar. Yeah, we open it's thing. Yeah, it's very smell. But people say fish oil is good, and especially he in education, you need good brand. So we believe that fish oil good for the brand. So then we need to take fish oil.
Yeah.
So we buy we buy the fish oil, and we never finish it. We take 1 or 2 and stay in the cupboard. And in one state, we want to save money. We buy the big jar. There was on sale. We want to save money because we build a family. We got young kids, so we need to save money. We buy big jar, but we never finish it. We open
how does Palmetto help him?
How does Palmetto? Well, he got he lost a lot of hair. I think it's a hormone. After I listening today, so he lost a lot of hair because of the stressful job. Yeah, and he always eat a bread, Vegemite in the morning. 1 cup of coffee and Vegemite on toast, and go to work and have sandwich for lunch, and then that's that's for a long years. That he been doing that because it's convenient to eat sandwich at work. Yeah, with the kind of his job, he can't sit down and eat. So sandwich take 2 minutes to eat, and so he lost a lot of hair. And then once I come to learn about I myself start first the Pelmet, the Estopro. It's called 5 tau back then. I having problems, so I connect to Dr. Dungpon and learn about I need the hormone supplement. So one I take for three months. At first he against it because they're too many to take. To take garlic or to take fish oil tablet is only 1 or 2, and we not a serious take, yeah. But when I take many bottles, he didn't really support at the beginning. But when I take for 3 months and he can see the change in me, he can see my mood, it become a bit settled because I got very mood swing. I got what you call the
Hot flash.
the menopause when I was 40. I'm 50, I will be 55 in a few months time, but my menopause start when I 40. I don't have period already when I turn 40. I lost the baby at 40 and no period after that, but I have been heavily breathing at 39 for nearly the whole year, heavily breathing every single, like I don't have a break, maybe 2-3 days break in a month. And I even have to go to church to pray, God, take this away from me and I'll die because my vision is blur. So yes, I even we have a healing play. I pray and I go out because I come to my end. I come to my end of my patient.
Yeah.
So anyway, one I make connection with Dr. Dongpon. I have tried Chinese medicine. I try acupuncture. I try hormone. It's cost $2 per pill. The hormone pill from my GP. At one stage, my GP said, eat yogurt. So I eat yogurt, which I hate yogurt. And then yogurt doesn't work. Okay, take when you go back to your GP, the second consultant, the first one is the first advice not work. The second advice, they change you something. So they give me the hormone that cost $2 per tablet. It worked for a week, but it doesn't work after that. My mood is just not good. So after the 6 months, we go back to the doctor and we want to try Chinese medicine because someone advised us. So my husband agreed that I can then try Chinese medicine, and we try Chinese medicine for 6 months. Because first few months is good, for like a first week, 2 weeks is good, but after that it's not good. So but then we give a chance for 6 months, but then it didn't work for me. My husband said, you're not yourself, you better get off it. And then we get off for a few years, maybe 2 to 3 years. Then we found Dr. Dongpon, and that's how I get on 5 tau. And the 5 tau really calmed me down. I was so calm because it's not just the 5 tau alone as well. I took the multivitamin, fish oil, magnesium D. I took the lot, and I learned about this. How you call Som Sam, Dr. Dongpon.
Repair.
Repair. They repair my cell because I lost so much hair and I got such a big gland here, big fat, big lump. They don't have it now. I don't have it. This side is gone, but this side I still have a tiny, but back then they were big, huge. I took a photo of it. And my skin is so dry, itchy so much. They all gone now. I don't have that itchy anymore. And my hair, I got more hair now. I still lost no more hair, but my hair got more. I didn't do anything at all, just I didn't do anything different. And also my skin better. My nail used to be brittle. Now my nail is so strong. And my vision, I got diabetes, but my vision is good. So what I'm trying to say with my husband,
I think we lost Soraya.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, you're back. Yeah. Mhm.
Yes, yeah. When he agreed to try, and he never until now. It's been 4-5 years now. Like
And
I never take anything for 5 years in my life.
Mhm.
Usana is the first brand that I take for 5 years every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have peace of mind with the quality. I have peace of mind with the fact that it doesn't hurt my kidney and my liver,
Sure.
and the fact that 15 minutes to half an hour after I take it, my body feel different straight away. My body can react to it, and I can talk to my body now. I can know which kind of food I eat, making my body hurt, ache and pain, and what kind of food I eat, my body feel good. And with the Usana supplement, it making my body feel good, feel strong. I can do a lot of things that I can't do in the past. Yeah, I can't
Thank you.
walk. I can't walk 10 steps. I can't walk 100 steps. Now I can walk 10,000 steps. I can't bend down to bath my own baby when they were a baby. I am a private nanny now due to the COVID. I am an early childhood educator. I shift from the center. I've been work for 20 years in the center, but I shift from the center become a private because of the COVID situation. I have to bath the baby. How I can bath the baby now in the bath? I can't do that with my own children because I cannot breathe.
Mhm.
It's my what you call abdomen. You know, under your
Abdominal.
chest.
The
I cannot
abdominal
breathe.
Mhm.
I cannot breathe. I cannot bend down. I can't do all that. But now I can push the pram. We go everywhere together around Melbourne. So there you go. Thank you to Dr. Myron Wen and Dr. Dongporn.
Thank you. So yeah, I think we'll give Sharina some tips because she's a young grandma now. So Sharina would have a lot of tips for how to bath the baby from Soraya on top of how to be
And
healthy
push the
by
baby.
you.
Push the pram.
Yeah, I want to add up about palmetto. Palmetto for older men, if they start taking it, particular men that have family history of prostate enlargement, they have to start early because this enlargement doesn't happen in a day. It's slowly happening each year. So if they start palmetto, even a normal dose early on, it helps to reduce the chance of that becoming more of annoying phase. If it's already enlarged where you have to see doctor and all that, it's very invasive treatment because prostate is unlike breast that female with breast cancer we can check, right, because it's external. We can do a lot of things with it, but prostate, the way to check it, they need to be a rectal examination. Doctor has to put the finger in. It can be very painful and very embarrassing for men, and most of them won't do it. So, and sometimes with enlargement, it can goes to cancer also. Small proportion of that. So if there's a family history, or if there's there's a sign of like frequent urination that happen already, if they start this product as in terms of adding extra food to just because we know we don't get it from the food, the nutrition we need for the process, we don't really get enough from the food. Just adding it for the piece, I'm investing in it for now.
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
like that would help a lot more. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot one very important point too. Daniel's father passed away from prostate cancer. So so that's why this is very strong. The palmetto is very strong for from our family. Yeah,
We're not talking
they
about
need to look after.
we're not talking about this as medicine or a magic thing, but we're talking about, we know these nutritions are important, but we don't get enough from food. And we don't, even from food, we eating it like, maybe today we eat this food that has this nutrition, but the next day we may not. But if it's in the pill, we know exactly how to control. But that pill is not a medication, it's the food extract in a format where it doesn't go bad, right? Okay, anyone else want to add more comments before we say goodbye for you guys to have a quality sleep?
Tichi got her hand up.
You are muted, is it? We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Tichi.
Oh, she's not muted. I don't know why we can't hear her.
Paki-on mo yung ano mo, Mama Chi, yung sa connect mo yung audio mo. Wi-Fi. Pindutin niyo po yun. Hindi pa rin po. Alis po kayo tapos may balik kayo.
Her
Wala pa.
microphone, her
Wala.
microphone is not muted. Mhm.
Ayan. Oh, she's fixing it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
type.
she'll
She out.
come back. I
Uh-huh.
told her to come back
Yeah, she'll
and
come back. She got a question. Yeah.
press the audio. Yeah. She got a lot of
Mm.
questions about hormones.
Oh,
That's
I,
why
yes.
when she's our leader in our prayer meeting.
Oh, yes, she
Because
comes in. Yes, she comes in.
Yeah.
She's very fast.
there, connecting to audio. There you go.
Okay. Can we hear you now?
There. Who? How come? She
Maybe.
connected to her audio.
Okay, unmute her.
There you go.
There. Mama Chick.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We can hear
So
you now.
Okay.
thank you.
All
So,
right.
doctor, basically, you said that it all started in the gut.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, we're actually, my husband and me are taking the probiotic.
Yep.
Yes. So now I learned about. I didn't know that USANA has
Probiotic.
palmetto.
Oh,
No,
palmetto.
the
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
for my husband actually, because
Yeah.
I already take the Estropro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's important that we start from the basic, the gut,
That's right. That's right. The
the
gut health.
for the hormone balance and everything.
That's right.
Mm.
Many years ago, we're actually taking this USANA, and it did
Oh.
well to us. Like
I see.
20 years ago,
Wow. Okay. If you
yeah,
remember us, yeah.
it was shared to us by a friend.
Yep.
But and then she stopped. And
Mhm.
now Charina got into this, and
Yeah.
we started again with my
Yeah.
family.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm
Congratulations.
more actually we're not taking it because we budget everything.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
took Magnical before,
Yeah.
and then the Estropro. Now I'm taking my probiotic in the morning. That's the first thing in my morning.
That's good.
Charina and me are the same. We're actually have a problem on our thyroid, and I
Thyroid.
think we're both taking the hormone,
Yeah.
levothyroxine.
Yeah. Wow.
And so before I take my levothyroxine, I take my probiotic.
Yeah.
And I'm actually observing myself because, as menopause period, I mean, like
Mhm.
we're on this condition,
Yep.
truly that what you said,
Mhm.
all the hormones start from the brain and to
Yeah.
the whole body. And I observed, like, I think I got my probiotic last Sunday, and 4 days now, I have been doing well with
Oh,
my
great.
probiotic and
Yes. Yes.
starting in the morning.
Yeah.
I wanted to get fixed again. I'm active
Mhm.
with my age 63.
Wow.
I can do more. I exercise.
Yeah. At this age, the only thing
Yeah, this
is
age.
to be
And
healthy. Yeah.
my recent I got the bone density.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said I have mild. This is my concern now.
Mhm.
Mild osteoporosis, which actually I heard from you is
Yeah.
normal for a menopause
Yes.
lady.
I am having it right now too, but
Yeah.
we need to maintain that at the point where we don't stimulate that to happen so fast.
Yeah.
The aging process. Yeah.
I said, what did I do? Because then I heard from you that when you menopause, you know, the bone density is
Mhm.
it goes down, right?
Yeah.
So now the doctor right away, you know, said that I could take the injection, which, and then I googled the what does that medicine do to me, and I got scared.
Mm.
all those all
Yeah.
those side effects and everything. I
Yeah.
said, oh no. I
Yeah.
said,
The same thing.
that's why
Mm.
you know, the Lord is good that we're into this USANA, and which will help a lot. Now I'm concerned with my husband, the
Mm.
Yeah.
palmetto.
You know, one thing,
So
this is not to force you onto something, but one thing, if you want to eat USANA cheaper, there is a way where you can recommend the product and then give you a little bit more of kind of some returning of reward on
Yeah.
that. So, but you don't recommend something that's not good to friends. So you got exposed to
yeah, of
USANA
course.
20 years ago.
Definitely.
But I guess taking supplement, you really need to have motivation and knowledge. Otherwise, you fall off, because like if you don't take supplement one day, you're not gonna feel like, oh, I'm dying, right? So therefore, a lot of people can ignore it for a long time. Therefore, motivation is very important. Keeping in the loop of the people who know, if I eat it and I got and this and this and this question, who do I ask? Where do I go? And why is it important to me? So people who recommending USANA for a short term, for example, they come to you and they disappear, meaning that they don't have enough knowledge to keep people going. That's why they don't have motivation to keep going. But for us here, we are a team of 10,000 or more people across 12 countries that USANA open. So we always have a resource of knowing what to do. And we host a lot of educational seminar without knowing whether you're going to join us or not. It's not our control, but we need to share it out, because a lot of people don't know that there are different kinds of the quality. But even with the quality, USANA is good. You know them 20 years ago. Why can't you have the full benefit from it? Because there is no platform for you to know how to get the maximum benefit from it. The experience of how to take it, it has been on the life of many people before me, before I know USANA. They share with me the experience about what's more important in terms of fat, in terms of protein. There are people who taught us based on their experience, their expertise, and all that. So supplement is just part of it, but I think the surrounding factor that make you feel like it is important is even more important. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Thank
knowledge
you.
is a very, very important, because not taking supplement for 1 day or 1 year usually don't kill people. It's not medicine. So it's easy to ignore until the huge problem comes. Then you have no choice. Then you have to take both supplement and medicine. That's when people started, oh, do I go for this and that? It's cost money. And that's why USANA is
Yeah.
a
Very
business part
expensive.
for people if you wanted to earn something in a good way. So there's a way for it, but we never force people to do so. So I start
You
like
know
that.
how
I start with that concept too. I never want to make money on someone pain. I don't want to make pain on someone to make money. When I feels like making money and making some people are healthier is meaningful. So is that what you want in life? I think there's a way to do win-win situation. I can't give supplement to people for free because I have to buy it, but I give them the fair price and the fair knowledge and the follow-up to make sure they know exactly how to make the most benefit from the products. So
that's
Yeah.
true.
this makes USANA different from any other platform that I've seen in the past, which I try to run away from, but apparently I don't run away from USANA because I feels like it's different in terms of quality, in terms of the people who I am with. And I wouldn't get to know Sharina, and we don't know each other. And these three ladies here, apart from Solaya, we never met each other in person. We know because a
Yes.
friend of us linked to USANA say, oh, Glenda wasn't well, explain to Glenda how you use the product. Glenda explained Sharina, and then, Imelda come along. So it's an opportunity to share, and sharing is the most productive way in terms of the modern society. There's so many knowledge until someone stimulate our brain that, Oh, good fat is here. Oh, that's why they
Yeah.
tell us to eat good fat. Sometimes you know that until someone say it repeatedly, then it click, right? So yeah, and me was like that. So yeah.
Mm.
So
And be with the
keep
right people as well.
Yeah.
Be
So
with the right group, right team. Yeah.
I think keep going with what you can afford for now, and maybe thinking
Yeah.
of way if you can earn some reward back from USANA, what other way to introduce to people. You don't have to be forcing to go full on and then full responsibility to begin with. Just learn how to share from Sharina, and then if someone has problem and they can't solve that problem, come with a solution. And then let them decide whether they want to take that option we introduce or not. That would be healthy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay,
Great.
that's good. We have a good session today. Thank you for all the questions.
Yes, we did. And we have USANA different, as Dr. Dungporn explained. And I reckon we have team leader different here as well. I think that all the good quality that we have in Dr. Dungporn, it given us even more confidence to moving forward, right?
Yeah. Yes, right.
Yes. Yes. So we are blessed here. So the time is already at an end now for this section.
Yeah.
If anyone wanna have one word before we say goodbye for this week, you're welcome to do your one word.
Maybe we can hear from Brenda.
Yes,
We miss
Brenda.
her.
Thank you so much.
Busy lady. Thank you for joining, Brenda.
Yeah, thank you so much. Dr. Dongpon, I have a short question about the palmetto.
Yes.
So, what is the right age for a man
Uh-huh.
to take palmetto?
To take palmetto. If you have family, if they have family history, or prostate enlargement,
Prostate.
prostate cancer, and all that, or hair loss, for example,
Mhm.
like early on in the family, whether from mom or dad side. So start at 40, same as estradiol. But if they are concerned about the funding and all that, so the age of 50 is also a good age to start, because the enlargement usually doesn't turn into the effect at around maybe 55 or 60.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And how about Dr. Dongpon? Because nowadays there are men that early lost hair
Mhm.
or getting more white hair. So
Mhm.
what's the concern? Also the hormones? Do you think
The white hair thing, it could be genetics and all that, but however, the losing hair is something you can do something about it. So basically, in order for hair to stay, there's two parts: the fat, the good fat that attach to the root of the hair, and also the protein. So usually, these two things are very, very important. So all the product that we have can be in part of supplementing, but we have to look into their lifestyle also. Very, very important. Sometimes they smoke, sometimes they drink, and all these things kill off a lot of balance in our distributing of the nutrients into the body also. There is no kind of one question, one answer to that. All men that lose hair because of this and that. We need to look into their lifestyle. However, I would start everyone off with a detox set. If that's happening, the detox is the first start, because that's how you clear your whole system. And then you start to input multivitamin, but taking it as a food, not too high dose, just regularly, and let them accept the concept that I'm not perfect today. I'm taking this just to top it up, to make sure that at least I have done something. Instead of high expectation that I take it, my hair will all come back. If doctor can't do that to you and you don't want to change your lifestyle, we cannot promise that it's wrong, isn't it? We don't want to promise for sale, but we want them to expect the reality that in a way it's a teamwork between the surrounding factor and yourself into that. Yeah.
Okay. So one more Dr. One, because I heard some from the doctors that when you're imbalanced hormones, you will get the what do you call cyst on the thyroid, like my fibroid, like that. So it develop when you have imbalance, right? Hormone imbalance.
Yeah.
So when you become healthy, So is it possible that all the cysts and that the fibroid will shrink back?
Yes, it is possible. However, it all depends on how serious the thing previous to for you from chipping your lifestyle. Okay, so if it was this day, every young girl that you go to and talk to will have some level already, because the exposure to all the chemical, all the cosmetic, the bad healthy diet, and the stressful of their study and all that, they would have some level already. But if it let go until it becomes a lot more, until they feel pain and all that, that one you need surgery to happen also. So in a way, we cannot exclude the treatment versus the repairment, right? So it is possible to reverse in some cases, but I do have some friends who have fibroid or endometriosis, that the thing that makes very painful. Some of those people, they do need to see doctor to remove, because it was at the phase where it was painful enough for them to notice it, and that's beyond the repair fast from nutrition. Usually medium and slow but sustainable, but medication sometimes it just make the problem not to go worse. But you remove that first, and then you come back. When you use nutrition, it usually help you to balance it, hopefully help for that not to come back. Does that make sense? So, and again, there is no one question to answer every cases. It needs to be one by one. But one thing we need to stay in mind when we are introducing nutritional supplement is that it's not a magic bullet. It needs all other understanding surrounding the lifestyle factor also. And doctor opinion is worthwhile listening to. And then you, like Kitty saying that she look at the side effect and all the medical. You own your body and you own your own health. You are allowed to ask questions to the doctor and do a self-research on that. And then you combine everything together and you make the best choice on whether you need to go for treatment. Don't ignore anything. Take anything in, but be smart to also make a decision with the combined knowledge that you have. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Dongkwon.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for joining. And I'm so glad that Dr. Dongkwon is there, who always give us the advices and learning knowledge, so we can apply with our family and for us too. So thank you, thank you everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Thank you too.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Bye-bye. Have a good week, everyone.
You
Bye.
too.
Bye. Bye.